LongHorn Steakhouse is one of America's most popular steakhouse chains. There are more than 500 locations all over the world and millions of loyal customers. While you may have heard of the food chain, do you really know everything there is to know about LongHorn? From how the restaurant almost didn't happen to being a site of murder, here are 13 things you didn't know about LongHorn Steakhouse. Number 1. The first LongHorn Steakhouse was once an adult bookstore. George McCarrow, the founder of LongHorn Steakhouse, had a decade of experience in the hospitality industry before he decided to open this popular restaurant. He had worked at Cleveland Pancake House as well as tended bar in Columbus. At the age of 22, he opened a supper club in West Virginia in 1973. He sold the business soon after and started working on a new restaurant chain which brought him to Atlanta. In 1978, he and a partner secured $100,000 to launch his own restaurant. McCarrow ended up with a building that was previously an X-rated bookstore. He began renovating the place that would soon be transformed into his vision of a casual dining restaurant with a traditional Texas Roadhouse vibe. That's how LongHorn Steakhouse was born, aiming to serve the best steaks and the coldest beer in town, although there were a few obstacles in the way. Number 2. LongHorn almost failed during its first year. When renovation at the LongHorn Steaks restaurant and saloon was underway, McCarrow faced a huge problem. His business partner was gone. Along with all the funding, I found myself scrambling to get the restaurant open. McCarrow said in an interview with the Atlanta Business Chronicle he had no other option but to turn to his father for help with the finances. It turned out that it was a good idea to go to his father, as he became his investor as well as a great business partner. His father was instrumental in helping him grow LongHorn into the icon that it is today. This period of struggle taught McCarrow lessons that stayed with him forever. Tenacity played a big part of my early success. He said, "I believed in myself and what I was doing. You can't give up when things get tough. And I had a fundamental belief that what I was doing was going to work no matter what the circumstances were." 3. A snowstorm saved a restaurant. Snowstorms can be a nuisance, but for McCarrow, it was a snowstorm that saved LongHorn Steakhouse, which might have otherwise closed down. The restaurant was struggling to stay open when Atlanta was hit by a snowstorm in 1982. The heavy storm left a lot of people stranded and many without electricity. At this point, LongHorn was one of the few restaurants in the area that still held power. McCarrow had an idea. He posted a sign outside his outlet providing drinks for $1 while it snowed. Cheap drinks are always welcome, and it was not surprising that the eatery got the attention it needed. That night, McCarrow and his staff served $700 worth of drinks. The snowstorm continued for the next few days, so did the flow of customers at LongHorn. The restaurant gained a lot of new customers, and the restaurant began thriving. In 1983, McCarrow opened a second location in the suburbs of Atlanta. By the end of the decade, there were 15 LongHorn outlets expanding into North Carolina. Number 4. The company got in trouble over wages. LongHorn Steakhouse has been controversial because of its underpayment of staff and has also faced a lawsuit over the same. Apparently, LongHorn had tipped servers for performing duties that were not a part of their job description without any extra pay. They also paid workers less than the minimum wage. The company also allegedly began applying for a tip credit, counting gratuity payments as paid wages without informing the employees. Number 5. A LongHorn Steakhouse outlet was the site of a murder. A LongHorn Steakhouse in Tennessee was the scene of a grisly homicide in 2019. 2 men were shot to death in the parking lot of a Clarksville outlet as bystanders looked on in shock. The men were rushed to a nearby hospital, but they were declared dead. 2 men were arrested in connection with the murders. A man who went by the name Hulk later turned himself in and was arrested for the killings. 6. The chain is a part of a huge conglomerate. LongHorn Steakhouse is owned by Darden Restaurants, a massive conglomerate with more than 195,000 employees. You might have heard of many other popular chains owned by the company. Do Red Lobster, Olive Garden, and Capital Grille ring a bell? That's right, all part of Darden Restaurants. 7. The success of LongHorn Steakhouse gave rise to another popular eatery. It was in 2000 that George McCarrow retired from Rare Hospitality International Inc., LongHorn Steakhouse's parent company. In 2007, the chain was sold by Rare to Darden Restaurants for a reported price of $1.4 billion. In 2002, McCarrow partnered with media mogul Ted Turner based in Atlanta, and together they launched Ted's Montana Grill. The concept of the restaurant was built upon a sustainability model. Here, beef wasn't the focus, it was bison. McCarrow admitted that it was ironic that a species that was so close to becoming extinct was being served to diners, and what's more is that it had actually increased the bison population several-fold, and we've done so sustainably. McCarrow said, being at the helm of a successful enterprise is satisfying by itself, but if you can go to sleep at night knowing that your efforts are actually doing some good in this world, that's the cherry on top. 8. LongHorn Steakhouse has a hotline to help amateur grillers. For Americans, holiday grilling is a tradition that cannot be broken. LongHorn Steakhouse adds to the celebration by offering assistance. The restaurant launched the LongHorn Grillas hotline in 2013, allowing people to connect with their certified grill masters. The hotline provides tips, techniques, and advice to amateur grillers. When it was launched, it proved to be so successful that they returned each year to offer assistance. LongHorn's head of marketing, John Fadul, explained in a press release that LongHorn's 30-plus years of experience serving upwards of 650,000 steaks per week means we know a thing or two about grilling. Number 9. LongHorn Steakhouse is generous with its recipes. LongHorn is more than okay with sharing its recipes with everybody. The LongHorn Steakhouse website features a special page that has recipes inspired by LongHorn chefs. A few of the recipes feature steaks such as coffee-rubbed ribeye and herb-rubbed beef tenderloin with portobello mushroom sauce. There are also some non-steak recipes including grilled vegetables, grilled lime shrimp, as well as a grilled Caesar salad. There is also a grilled dessert, grilled bananas foster, so you can basically create a complete LongHorn Steakhouse meal in your own kitchen. Number 10. LongHorn is in an imagined relationship with Denny's Online. Yes, you read that right. It all began when LongHorn Steakhouse launched a Tumblr account run by an anonymous employee. Maybe the employee was a huge fan of Denny's because it would often crush the chain through comments. It started with the comment, "Sorry, I love Denny's." This joke was picked up by the crazy world of Tumblr and thus began a fictional romance between LongHorn Steakhouse and Denny's. Everybody started shipping the couple as Denhouse. One Tumblr user wrote, "You know your life has hit rock bottom when you're shipping to restaurants? Oh my lord. Ouch, but oh, whatever. We are all a bit mad here." Number 11. It's all about the meat. LongHorn Steakhouse was born from McCarrow's passion for grilling and dream of serving the perfect steak. LongHorn menus today are all about the ribeyes, T-bones, their signature porterhouse, a slow-roasted prime rib, and Flo's filet, a recipe named after a server who loved that cut. Employees need to undergo extensive training to become grill chefs. They really care about the food they make for you, and don't ever worry about getting a frozen chunk of meat at LongHorn. They do not freeze their meat. All of it is kept in the walk-in fridge. It is hand-cut every morning and placed on a rack covered with plastic wrap. Number 12. Their most popular drink is the in-house margaritas. The margarita at LongHorn Steakhouse is their specialty cocktail. The restaurant offers many twists on the tequila drink apart from the classic version with a lime. You also get strawberry, watermelon, and pineapple coconut flavors. 13. LongHorn Steakhouse revamped its Shirley Temple after a kid's bad review. LongHorn Steakhouse takes feedback seriously. In 2019, a 6-year-old left an Instagram review about the food chain that went instantly viral. The kid Leo Kelly, who goes by the Instagram name at the Shirley Temple King, critiqued the Shirley Temple he was served at the outlet. According to him, it was the tallest he'd ever had, but the drink did not contain a single cherry. LongHorn Steakhouse was quick to respond. They were altering their recipe, which would be fit for the king, in a clever wordplay on Kelly's Instagram handle. The new recipe armed up their cherry game by adding 5 cherries, 3 at the bottom and 2 on top, balanced on the rim of the glass with a small skewer. Leo Kelly has been ordering Shirley Temple since he was 3 and is quite qualified to critique them based on his experience. Do you love LongHorn Steakhouse? Which are your favorite dishes from this food chain? Tell us in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, do like and share. Subscribe to our channel for more.